current affairs, the issues that matter and concern you, with your host, Spider Montoute. See you every Monday from 8 p.m. when we tell it like it is.
This is a paid political program.
The views expressed by the host of this program does not reflect the views of the management of Hot FM Communications Limited, nor its advertisers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Tell It Like It Is with your host, Lenard Spider Montoute. This talk show, ladies and gentlemen, the newest talk show on the block, will be hard-hitting, straight to the point, and will be dealing directly with the issues that is of interest and concern to you. On this show, we are going to tell you like it is, but you need not worry. There is a segment of the program where you will get an opportunity to call in for you to tell it like it is. On occasions, we will have special invited guests as well as special features. But tonight, we are going to kick off with the latest political developments in this country. And of course, what else? Last night in the William Peter Boulevard, the United Workers' Party put on a magnificent show. We saw a massive turnout, and, of course, there was much excitement as the UWP endeavors to assure St. Lucians that they are getting prepared and that they are ready for the challenge ahead. What was really the highlight of the evening was the announcement of candidates. The United Workers' Party announced 7 candidates, 5 of which are repeat candidates, in the persons of Bradley Felix, Herod Stanislas, Dominic Fede, Guy Joseph, and the political leader himself, Alan Chasney. But of course, things got to its peak when 2 new names were mentioned in the persons of Peter Chiquot, who will be making his inaugural appearance in politics, taking on the Prime Minister, no less, in the constituency of Castries East. And of course, we were in the constituency of Castries Central, and by all means, the candidate that is endorsed to contest the next election against the incumbent Richard Frederick is no other than a youngster by the name of Rosh Clarke. And those 2 gentlemen created quite a stir in the William Peter Boulevard. I think the hearts and souls of United Workers' Party supporters and well-wishers is in a good place. And of course, I'm sure that the leadership is feeling good. And out of the demonstration that we saw last night by the UWP, we know that the UWP is getting ready. We know that the UWP is gaining momentum. And we know that the UWP is really serious about presenting itself as a viable alternative to what passes for government in St. Lucia today. So tonight, I do not want to dwell too much on last night's events, although I know that that's the main preoccupation on the minds of all St. Lucians, including St. Lucia Labour Party supporters. Because while it is a hearty feeling for the United Workers' Party, it's a disheartening feeling for the St. Lucia Labour Party. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I need not tell you, when a party can rejuvenate itself, that is always a good sign. Why do I say so? I have not heard the full slate of candidates for the United Workers' Party, but so far, out of 7 candidates presented, out of the group of 17, 2 are new faces. And what I am hearing through the grapevine is that there'll be a few other new faces, including some very young individuals who have taken the plunge into active elective politics, which means then that some of the old guard will be retiring. That is also a secret. I cannot tell you about it, but you will find out for yourself when you hear the announcements, and so stay tuned. The United Workers' Party has promised that they will have an even bigger rally in the South come November, when more candidates will be presented. I look forward to that, and I know you cannot wait for that event. In the meantime, we expect to hear, of course, the response of the St. Lucia Labour Party, which has begun. And one of the things that you're being told is that there were not many people there. Well, fool yourself if you like, I could tell you. The William Peter Boulevard was bursting at its seams, and there was a massive, enthusiastic, energetic crowd cheering on the United Workers' Party throughout the night. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I will not keep you in any more suspense. I have 2 in-studio guests tonight, and I know you have been guessing who they might be. But forgive me, I had to be in my inaugural show, be the first talk show to have those 2 individuals immediately after their endorsement as candidates. So those gentlemen, I know when they make it, they will have to remember it started on Like It Is. And so when the time comes when I will be approaching them as honorable ministers and so on, if I get any trouble, I will tell them like it is that they started on Like It Is. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I would like to introduce my 2 guests. The highlights of last evening's rally in the Boulevard. First of all, I will start with in order of seniority. I would like to introduce the endorsed candidate who will be doing battle with six-time MP Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre in the constituency of Castries East, Mr. Peter Chiquot. And of course, alongside him, we have the young, I am not going to say he's an up-and-coming star. He is not. He is a flabo. An up-and-coming flabo who really created a stir in the Boulevard last night, and that is in the person of Mr. Rosh Clarke, who will be the candidate contesting in the Castries Central constituency against the loudmouth, braggadocious Richard Frederick. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I will now take a short break for a commercial. I will keep you waiting a little longer. After this introduction, you will finally see and hear my guests. We take a break.
Call us to advertise your business at Hot FM. Rates are lower than ever. Call our advertising department at 758-452-6040. That's 758-452-6040. You will be happy you did. Advertise your business on the most listened to radio station in St. Lucia. Hot FM, the supreme sound.
Hey there, all you trendsetters and future superstars. Are you ready to kickstart your career and blast into the world of broadcasting? Well, do we have some exciting news for you? Get ready to unleash your potential with the island's #1 broadcasting giant. We at Hot FM Communications are always on the lookout for fresh, innovative minds to join our dynamic team and take our empire to the next level. Where do you fit in, you ask? It's simple. Visit CaribbeanHot7TV.com and click on the Employment Corner to explore the plethora of opportunities awaiting your unique talents. Whether you're tech savvy, a social media guru, a creative content mastermind, or a charismatic on-air personality, we've got a place for you to shine. So stop dreaming and start doing. Check out our employment corner and let's make those career aspirations a reality. Hot FM Communications is waiting for your magic touch. Don't miss out. Your future starts here.
Are you a strategic thinker with a passion for media? Hot FM Communications Limited is searching for a dynamic general manager. This pivotal role requires a strategic mind and understanding of the media landscape. Your key responsibilities will include, but not limited to, overseeing the day-to-day runnings of the company, revenue generation and growth, content oversight, and customer relations, to name a few. The ideal candidate must possess a strong analytical background, excellent communication skills, and experience in media will help. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, there are numerous ways to get started. You can apply at www.caribbeanhottv.com and click on the Employment Opportunities tab. You can also send your resume to caribbeanhotfm@gmail.com or call 452-6040. Let's shape the future of media together.
Broadcasting to the world. Hot FM, the supreme sound.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tell It Like It Is. And let me just remind you that we will be with you every Monday night from 8 p.m. on Hot TV, on Hot 7 TV and Kiss FM. Tonight we are on Kiss FM, Hot FM and Hot 7 TV, but normally we will be on Kiss FM and Hot 7 TV. But as I get back to Tell It Like It Is, I want to invite my guests now to introduce themselves to St. Lucia. I will start with you, Mr. Chiquot. We have here with me, like I said, Peter Chiquot, who is the endorsed candidate for Castries East, who will be doing battle against the Prime Minister, who has been a 6-time MP, and Peter Chiquot is gunning to unseat him in the upcoming election. Mr. Chiquot, tell St. Lucia, who is Peter Chiquot?
Well, Peter Chiquot is a young sportsman out of the Masha community, born and raised in the Masha community, actually from Rockall. I have lived all my life. I grew up, I'm what you call a homeboy from Masha and from Rockall. So that's who I am, and I just want to say thank you for being part of your inaugural show, Mr. Montoute.
You're welcome.
Yes.
And let me also welcome you, Rosh, to Tell It Like It Is. And here, feel free to tell it like it is. That's what we do here. And Rosh, I want you to tell us, St. Lucians, who is Rosh Clarke, the newly endorsed candidate for Castries Central for the United Workers' Party.
Yes, once again, thanks again for being part of the show. And yes, you have Rosh Clarke, who has been right now an entrepreneur and one that has been born and raised from the area of Castries Central, Wilton's Yard. I've been seasoned within the construction field for quite some time, regionally and locally, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so you mentioned a little, Rosh, about your professional background. So you said you are in construction. Mm-hmm. Exactly what field of construction are you involved in?
Right now, I'm undertaking the role of an entrepreneur. I've been working most of my time within the architectural and engineering technician roles. I have right now undertaken the role of pursuing my certification under quantity surveying, and I've actually found myself working within this field quite dynamically, and there's not been one single direction that I've ventured from architecture, engineering, all from working within different firms, and it's one that I'm quite pleased to be involved in. Quite pleased to be involved in.
And yes, Peter, if I can call you so, yes, Peter Chiquot, let me just refer to you as Peter, and Rosh, Rosh Clarke, I'll be referring to you on this show as Rosh, if you don't have a problem
That's
with that. So, Peter, tell us, in terms of a professional background, what is your history?
Well, I had been working in the customs department for 36 years, 36 years and a few months. I joined the customs department in 1986, straight from the Castries Comprehensive School, and I have been there until I retired in August of 2022. So I have been a career public servant for the past 36 years.
Okay, now a career public servant who spent many years in the public service, what brings you to politics?
Well, I think that was a calling. I think when I left customs, I got quite a few calls from members of the public and even some of my family members. They were saying to me that they figured out that I could have made a contribution to politics, particularly with what I went through in the customs department, especially with that Ernest matter. And I tried my best to be within the law, and this thought that with that level of integrity and that willingness to stick to the law and challenge persons for the law, they felt that my integrity was in the right place, my loyalty was in the right place. And so persons kept calling me and inviting me and asking me to participate, and members of the community calling on me. And so I said, well, okay, let me give it a try.
And so you took the plunge and now you're all in.
Well, yes, I'm 100% in.
And Rosh, you mentioned your involvement in the construction industry, and you said that you are an entrepreneur, you're into your own business and so on. From what I'm hearing, construction is a quite lucrative business. Why have you decided to focus on politics and to take the plunge into the political arena?
When I first started, I started working out from architecture and construction firms. I had the opportunity to work regionally. It gave me such a dynamic view and scope of what is done in other islands compared to us. I couldn't help but compare. Coming back, I got the opportunity to work within government. I first started as a physical planning technician. Then I got the role of a quantity surveyor. When I found I was again involved in several programs that were so heavily invested into the community, programs such as the National Housing Assistance Program. I was working within programs such as the Proud, and they were again honorable programs in a sense that they reached out to these communities. A lot of focus was done into the surveying, the feedback as to what it is that truly affected persons in the concept of even developing. When I started to recognize that these programs were limited and the interest of under the concept of representation, that they themselves weren't being invested in such a manner, I decided to again, I didn't renew my contract at that point, and I wanted to again venture out on my own. Started my own business, communicated with some other professions, personnel in these same professional fields. So we started working together and then started to take a look at Castries Central as our first project. It first gave me the opportunity again in saying to myself that, hey, this city needs the level of attention that an individual that is truly invested, truly concerned, truly dedicated to ensure that it can move forward, can address. And it's always been something for me within this party. This party was something that was indoctrinated into me. It came from a grandmother that was just, everything for her was flubble. She kicked me out of her house on several occasions for even having an opinion on the matter. So I truly understood what this party meant to again, persons such as her and persons in my community. when I started to see that again, nothing was done, and again, so many communities were just left neglected. We're still facing so much. I decided to throw my hat in this ring.
Okay, so Peter is a career public servant who worked in the customs department, now turned politician. Rosh, you were in the building construction industry, now turned politician. But I mean, I need to know a little more about you all as individuals in terms of your background. What are, say for example, your hobbies? What are your interests? What are your other pastimes other than your professional work? And of course, I know now you're into politics full time, but what are your other areas of interest? What are the things that help you relax, that brings you pleasure, that you use as hobby?
Well, for me, I have always been into sports. I played football. After I stopped playing football, I coached for quite a few years in the Masha community. And when I stopped that, because I stopped coaching while I was still at work, when I retired, I just wanted to retire. You know, in the fairy tale, live happily ever after. I retired in a good place. I was okay, and I chose to relax, spend some time, relax. And so I got involved in doing a lot of projects around my home, you know, making sure I set up my home, fix up my home, and these things. So for relaxation, that's what I was doing. And I realized I had a lot of time. I had a lot of time to go around and start speaking to people, meeting people, and so that just continued.
Yes.
And I continued and decided, well, okay, since I was getting the call, I just decided that I was going to pursue it.
And you, Rosh, other than building construction, which seemed to be your first passion in terms of your professional life, and now politics, I mean, what are your hobbies? What are your other interests? What are your pastimes?
I wish I could say I have an exciting one. It's more, and how should I say, about 2 years ago, but more or less I became a leading role in it. I followed up with a community foundation, and the foundation was more or less involved in still giving back. So I found myself heavily invested into this same foundation, and what it did was give me the opportunity to meet so many persons. Other than that, it's either I'm here with this team on this project, don't have much of a pastime other than finding myself from one job component to another. Side works, you know.
Okay, so, I'm sure you guys, are any of you interested in music? I mean, I know many people are lovers of music and so on.
I should say this one as well. I have met, even in the same foundation, while going through some of the communities, this is a great opportunity to mention this one. I have met a couple of young individuals that we started to meet and get the opportunity to, again, further advance their musical career. They already are invested in creating their own music. They have a couple of songs out, and working with these same talented young men has been even more inspirational. It's been months now since I've actually been on ground, and we again started a secondary youth group, and that group was Level Up, and it's still meeting so many talented individuals in and out of the community that again we get to explore in that sense, onto several speech emporiums, having that opportunity to give these feedbacks and hear their stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, but is there a particular genre of music that you personally prefer?
Oh, my personal preference of music has always been somewhat under the line of reggae.
I see. And you, Peter?
Well, for me, I am not into the music as he is, but I love my music. I created a space for me, for my music. So I created what you call a man cave at my house, so that when you get in there, you could sit, relax, and listen to comfortable music. But one of the things I had been doing, and I've been doing it for many, many years, even while I was at work. I normally used to go out, and I do these things on my own. I worked in Soufrière, and one of the things I was doing while I was in Soufrière, I was actually taking care of over 50 kids in Soufrière. And I used to look after them. Those who didn't have shoes, I would get shoes for them from Castries, go down to Soufrière to make sure I get them to go to school. And I've been doing this thing for many, many years, even in Castries, in the Castries East community. I have been actually going out, and I meet a family who needs help, I help. I meet a family who needs to send the children to school, they come to me, I help. Even in Monday down there right now, I still have quite a few people. They call on me and I help. It takes nothing from me to see a child get an education. So I try my best whenever they come to me, whether it's the elderly, whether it's they come for the children or for themselves, I help. It's costly, but I help.
Okay, so gentlemen, we are about to take a short break, but we just talking on the lighter side of Peter and Rosh. But when I come back, I'll delve a little into the politics because, I mean, you all are politicians, but I love the politics myself, and I'm sure, many of my listeners would want to know a little more, hear a little more from you of the politics. So when I return, we will talk a little politics. So we are going to take a short break now. Listeners, stay tuned. And when we return on Tell It Like It Is, you will hear a little more of St. Lucia's two newest politicians, Peter Chiquot and Rosh Clarke.
Speak now.
In times of grief, Hot 7 TV and Hot FM are here to support you. We offer deaf announcement packages for both radio and television at affordable prices. In fact, when you choose to place a deaf announcement on Hot FM with more than 2 airings, you will receive a free Tele-Obituary on Hot 7 TV. At Hot FM and Hot 7 TV, we understand the pain and difficulty you are experiencing during this time of bereavement, and we are committed to helping you in any way we can. On Hot FM, deaf announcements are broadcast from Monday to Saturday from 6:30 a.m. On Hot 7 TV, they are aired on weekdays at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. and on Sundays immediately following the live broadcast of the church service at the Barbono Good Shepherd Catholic Church with Father Albert. If you are in need of such services, we are here for you. Contact us at 452-6040.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
Call us to advertise your business at Hot FM. Rates are lower than ever. Call our advertising department at 758-452-6040. That's 758-452-6040. You will be happy you did. Advertise your business on the most listened to radio station in St. Lucia. Hot FM, the supreme sound. Are you a strategic thinker with a passion for media? Hot FM Communications Limited is searching for a dynamic general manager This pivotal role requires a strategic mind and understanding of the media landscape. Your key responsibilities will include, but not limited to, overseeing the day-to-day runnings of the company, revenue generation and growth, content oversight, and customer relations, to name a few. The ideal candidate must possess a strong analytical background, excellent communication skills, and experience in media will help. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, there are numerous ways to get started. You can apply at www.caribbeanhottv.com and click on the Employment Opportunities tab. You can also send your resume to caribbeanhotfm@gmail.com or call 452-6040. Let's shape the future of media together.
From St. Lucia, Hot FM.
So welcome back to Tell It Like It Is, and let me just say to my listeners and viewers to this inaugural episode of Tell It Like It Is, those of you who are watching on television, those of you who listen on radio, those of you who are with us on live stream, I just want to inform you that we make provision on Tell It Like It Is, or rather Like It Is, so that you can tell it like it is. And so you can send us a message on our WhatsApp platform. Our WhatsApp number is 718-554-1005. I'll repeat that number again. Our WhatsApp number is 718-554-1005. And of course, later on, we'll at about on the hour at 9 o'clock, we'll be opening our lines to those of you who wish to call in, those who have comments or questions for my guests or for me, to call in studio. And our in studio number is 458-1053. But that is for later. But right now we are getting back to our in studio guests. And of course, we are curious about who the individuals are behind the names, and we got a little glimpse of it. But now I want to tackle my guests a little bit in the politics, since that is the newest engagement. Two new candidates who were only endorsed last night, less than 24 hours ago. And so I want to ask that question. I'll start with you, Peter. You, like I said earlier, are contesting against a 6-time MP, and who is also the leader of the party, the St. Lucia Labour Party, and Prime Minister of St. Lucia. What makes you believe that you can unseat the Honorable Philip JPN?
I've been getting many complaints about what is happening in the constituency in general, in all areas, Pavé, Rockall, even in Masha proper. The youth in Masha actually walking up to me and said to me, look, we need something to happen in sports, and the Prime Minister is doing nothing for us. They actually told me that while he was not Prime Minister, they were seeing more of him. And they thought that they put him there, they thought that when he got there as Prime Minister, he would have been doing things for them. And that just was not forthcoming. So a lot of them came and they were complaining to me. And I keep telling them I was really trying to help them. But financially, I doing this thing on my own, and financially just was not sustainable for me. And so I decided, well, since that is an issue in all the areas, and I just went to Arundel Hill a while ago. I mean, that place, something has to be done. And the same complaint, they're not seeing the Prime Minister, they're not seeing the parliamentary rep. So that is the complaint. Even Labour Party supporters are saying to me, we're not seeing the rep. Since the rep became Prime Minister, he doesn't show up in the constituency. And so hearing that from even his supporters, we know what the United Workers' Party supporters are. The United Workers' Party supporters will be the United Workers' Party supporters. If your own supporters are complaining about you, it's time for you to go.
Okay. So let me switch to you, Rosh. Of course, while it has not been consecutive, but this is the third term in which Honorable Richard Frederick is representing Castries Central. And you are coming in as a new politician, and you're fighting the field of politics. What makes you think you can unseat Richard Frederick?
The numbers. The numbers straight. This is the show. Tell it like it is.
Well, it is like it is, where we expect you to tell it like it is.
That's right. So I'll tell it like it is. The numbers. The second I started to find the outcome of voters was so minimal and dismal in Castries Central, I started to know that, hey, persons weren't showing up. Persons lost their hope, their faith in politics. Persons no longer felt like their representative had the backs and the concerns or even the interests of people. There's a saying where any publicity is publicity. What they don't tell you is that any publicity can actually draw away the persons that's supposed to be interesting. The persons that's supposed to be interested more or less in what you're supposed to be doing. The outcome of the last elections turned out was almost a margin between 60 to 70% of the population within Castries Central didn't bother even showing up for politics. They didn't participate. They were no longer interested in the change that for instance, the representative currently right now, the the parliamentary representative right now can actually do. There are so many individuals that no longer are in touch with what they expect as a change. Going through the community, doing my canvassing, my investigation, having my interviews with these persons, I started to recognize more and more how much the level of representation is deeply needed inside of Castries Central. What makes me more sure that I stand a well above good chance, I should say, that I know that I can be bringing this seat back to the United Workers' Party, is that the seat has always been a United Workers' Party seat. That already lets you know that, again, with the areas of concern, that all of these persons are interested in that level of representation that they have lost.
So you believe that it is dissatisfaction with the representation that is causing the low voter turnout in Castries?
From my interviews, my in-depth research, the time that we've taken out to follow up with the populace, that is the exact feedback that we've started getting. With that, it's one thing to say so, but we started putting numbers in. We started doing our due diligence research. We started following up on the outcome of potential candidates that might voters that would be coming up. And then we followed up on the margin of voters that are no longer even in the areas of concern. When we started putting these numbers, we were surprised to find that, again, persons really did not show up for the fact that Richard Frederick was the representative. And it's one that persons are no longer interested with the what he projects, what he represents.
But before I go to Peter, let me ask you, what do you, Rosh, personally think of your parliamentary representative? If you were to give me an assessment of your parliamentary representative, what would that be?
My honest assessment of my parliamentary representative has been a man that has lost the minds and hearts of the people that he represents. He no longer sees himself as the person that's supposed to be self-sacrificing. He sees himself to be one that has accomplished and even forgot the audience that he's supposed to be entertaining, the people that he's supposed to be serving. The humility, the question is for me, I don't see it. Several persons can tell you that, hey, when you're up there, politics drives this energy. Persons tend to change. But to that extent, you ask yourself, are you representing you or just your team? You're representing a city, a diverse component of persons that have several opinions and thoughts. Why build such a wedge on the premise that, there is a political alignment?
Okay, now, Peter, I'm coming to you now. I mean, the last time a United Workers' Party candidate represented Castries East, it was late Romanus Lancico. Do you believe you can bring the Flabos back out to the extent that you can be the next United Workers' Party, successful United Workers' Party candidate for the Castries East area?
Spider, I will bring something out here today. I am almost 100% certain that Guy Mayers did not lose that seat. We will leave it there. It will be debated at some time down the road, but I am convinced in my heart that Guy Mayers did not lose that seat. So for me...
Now, I know that in the realm of politics, there is a lot of dubious things that happen, and even illegal things that happen in the realm of politics. But are you two gentlemen, as newcomers to the game, diligent and mindful of those possible pitfalls where, despite your best effort, there are crookedness that can take place to deny you of what probably would rightfully be a victory? Are you all mindful of that?
I am very much mindful of that.
Very much mindful of that.
That is why I keep saying Guy Mayers, in my view, did not lose that seat. I knew a lot of things of what went down in that election because I was one of the persons actually, because I was in the sports in Masha. I was the one really involved in sports in Masha. I knew what the people were saying, and I honestly did help. But whatever happened, happened. So that will be discussed in another real talk show.
Now, I must say, I must say on my part as well, extra precautions need to be taken. Extra precautions for these undermining procedures or how should I say, techniques that might be used. But I could tell you this much, Mr. Montoute, no level of dishonesty would lead to that condition of him winning this seat. Him being re-elected, there is no possibility of that. None whatsoever.
But
well, I like the confidence, although I must tell you, I was in elective politics myself, and I spent over 20 years in elective politics. I never met a politician who told me he was going to lose. But it is always good to have confidence. I always say that if you're not confident in yourself, you cannot instill confidence in others.
That's right.
And so I heard your message, each of you, last night to your people. But I'm hoping that the two of you will bring a breath of fresh air into the politics and not descend into the kind of politics that prevails in some areas today. Rosh, I'm going to tell you straight, your parliamentary representative represents the worst of the worst in terms of gutter politics. And as a young man, my advice to you would be to rise above that and not follow that example. Peter, I just want to say to you, and I think I qualify to give you advice after having been in elective politics for 20 years, your parliamentary representative is a very petty individual, and he, is very thin-skinned as well. While he dishes out, he is very sensitive about receiving. My advice to you is, again, to rise above the fray and distinguish yourself by showing that you are on a different level. Let's see you, the new generation of politics, take politics to a higher place, to a better place. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are approaching the point again where we have to take a break. But when we come back, we will be talking briefly to round up what I call your introduction to St. Lucia But I'm sure St. Lucia will not be satisfied with the questions that I've asked you. So at 9 o'clock, thereabout, I'll be opening up the lines so that we can get some input from our listeners, our viewers, who will be calling in to Like It Is, and we are hoping that they will be telling it like it is. But before we go, let me once again remind you, for those of you who want to send WhatsApp messages, it's 718-554-1005. And when we open up the lines, our in-studio number is 458-1053. Thank you very much.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, celebrating lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, celebrating lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
Advertise your business at Hot FM. Rates are lower than ever. Call our advertising department at 758-452-6040. That's 758-452-6040. You will be happy you did. Advertise your business on the most listened to radio station in St. Lucia. Hot FM, the supreme sound. Are you a strategic thinker with a passion for media? Hot FM Communications Limited is searching for a dynamic general manager. This pivotal role requires a strategic mind and understanding of the media landscape. Your key responsibilities will include, but not limited to, overseeing the day-to-day runnings of the company, revenue generation and growth, content oversight, and customer relations, to name a few. The ideal candidate must possess a strong analytical background, excellent communication skills, and experience in media will help. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, there are numerous ways to get started. You can apply at www.caribbeanhottv.com and click on the Employment Opportunities tab. You can also send your resume to caribbeanhotfm@gmail.com or call 452-6040. Let's shape the future of media together.
From St. Lucia, Hot FM.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to Like It Is. And this evening, for our inaugural episode of Like It Is, I have in studio two of St. Lucia's newest political candidates, in the persons of Peter Chiquot, who is the United Workers' Party endorsed candidate for Castries East, and Rosh Clarke, the United Workers Party candidate for Castries Central. And we are just looking into the background of those two gentlemen and, trying to find out what are their thoughts and political views. In St. Lucia's politics, you find that, the diehards of both parties come out to vote, but we have a high level of voter apathy, and among that population of apathetic voters, you have quite a lot of young people. Mm-hmm. Peter, do you have a strategy, or do you have in mind what it is you can possibly do to get out the youth, which I'm sure will make a big difference to your success if you can get them to come to the polls?
Yes, one of the things we're trying to do is engage the youth. We want to create these youth groups, and up to about an hour or so ago, I was actually in Arundel Hill, and I remember a couple of months ago I was in Arundel Hill, and I met a young lady. She probably was just about 18, and the things she was saying to me, it just blew my mind, and I kept it at the back of my head. So I went back to Arundel Hill to look for her, and I met, I think it's either a cousin of hers again, and she just blew my head again. And one of the things we have to do is bring them, get these young persons and bring them, because they were talking about, I was trying to see if I could get them to participate in things like the youth parliament, and to bring them out, to expose them, to get them involved. And the interest seemed to be there for them to want to do that. And I want to really engage the youth and get them to come out and participate, because there are no programs around for the youth, and getting programs for them for the participation is going to be a driver to get them out to participate. And if you could get them out to participate, as long as they gain that trust, because one of the things they keep saying to me is that, oh, we don't trust the politicians, we're not interested in that. But the politicians need to understand what these youth are all about, what they think. They are completely different time. The time is different. When we grew up, we barely had cell phones. Now you give these young kids, especially those that just leave school, a cell phone. And technology is the way of life of these persons. So you need to engage them and let them get involved and let them do things. And if you could get them engaged and doing things, then they will participate, and they will actually come out and get involved in the politics in itself.
Okay, so one other personal questions I didn't ask you. Do you have children of your own?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right.
But when I was growing up, I was involved in sports, and sports was my life. But all my nieces and nephews, and if you watch what happened in the boulevard last night, the majority, a lot of them were there, because I practically raised them. My neighbors' kids, all of them, these kids grew up with me. Okay. When I had these kids, 13, 14 of them, I could have taken these kids for the entire day. Their parents would.
So you don't have biological kids, but you have lots of kids?
I have a lot of kids. Okay. All my nieces and nephews, I practically raised them.
Okay, but Rosh, you have a big advantage. You are a youth yourself.
That's right.
You are a pretty young man, and both of you come from the city area where, unfortunately, we have lots of gangs and youngsters involved in gun violence and drugs and things of that sort. That, of course, something has to be done about it and so on. Do you see yourself being able to engage the young people in your area into paying attention to the politics and being able to show them in what way politics can affect their lives positively, and to direct them away from the devious behaviors, criminal activities, and so on?
Yes, I do see myself, and it's something that I have been doing for the last couple of months now. Well invested in it. You made a point earlier, and you're absolutely right. The youth, as much as we know the youth to be our future, they're not engaged and not interested in coming out. And this was one area that, when starting my movement, I needed to focus on heavily. The youth right now are aware of the continuous proceedings of what happens every time during the time of elections. They see potential candidates coming out, and then they say these words to draw their interest, get them involved. They know about the bribing that goes about the place. They know about what undermined procedures that politicians do find themselves participating in. When I first started out with the foundation and the youth group, one of the hardest dynamics that we found ourselves undertaking was, again, members and personnel within my community, personnel in communities next door. I truly had to understand the concept of what it is to lead by an example and take that first step to showing the level of self-sacrifice, to have persons recognize that, hey, you're going all out in this as a means to show this is what this is supposed to be. Getting these individuals involved in simultaneous and multiple seminars was the first opportunity we had, by showing them what can be done out there that is legit, what can be done out there that can find themselves more invested into the economy, invested into the world that surrounds them, more than just the enclosed circle that they see within their own communities. A lot of persons are encaged, I should say, mentally in their small community and see to themselves it's just from work to home. Not much hopes based on what they see in the next 5 years time frame. A lot of them are doing what they did 5 years before, and they're still doing it with not much growth. And getting that opportunity was the first step that we had to ensure that we can show them that this is how much we want to be investing our energies, efforts into their progress, their awareness. Finding myself in politics was the first step that, again, I used as an example to show them this is the extent of what it is this is supposed to actually be. Getting down on grounds with them. We found ourselves in active foundation programs that I had several individuals on ground working with me, delivering, let's say, adult-sized Pampers to the elderly, finding ourselves going back and forth to different households. We even had a lot of youth members and youth personnel from different communities on ground with me doing investigations to find out the standard of living of persons. And that got the youth involved in the idea of there can actually be a level of change that is not the quid pro quo standard concept of what politics has always been to them.
Well, I take note of some of the words that you use, Rosh, and it's very interesting. And most of all, I heard you say you're creating a movement. And that is very interesting. And so, as a young man who just got into the politics, if you can continue along that path, you will be a mountain in the politics. Because, it is one thing to get involved in transactional politics where you try to buy votes, but you cannot buy loyalty. But right. When you engage people in a movement and they can see that you are making a change that benefits them and that you are genuinely interested in their progress, that is a different scenario. With you, Chiquot, I see from what you're saying, it's almost as if even before you had made up your mind to be involved in politics, you're doing the things that politicians should do. Yeah. And so I think these are the things that will serve both of you very well in the upcoming general election. But at this juncture, I would like to take another short break because ladies and not ladies, but gentlemen, brace yourself as I call on the ladies and gentlemen who are listening to Like It Is to begin to pick up your telephones, because when we come back, the lines will be open and we will be entertaining calls. All I ask is that you be respectful of my guests and of me as host, because we will not entertain any disrespect on this program. But feel free to call in and tell it like it is. Thank you.
Call us to advertise your business at Hot FM. Rates are lower than ever. Call our advertising department at 758-452-6040. That's 758-452-6040. You will be happy you did. Advertise your business on the most listened to radio station in St. Lucia. Hot FM, the supreme sound.
Hey there, all you trendsetters and future superstars. Are you ready to kickstart your career and blast into the world of broadcasting? Well, do we have some exciting news for you? Get ready to unleash your potential with the island's #1 broadcasting giant. We at Hot FM Communications are always on the lookout for fresh, innovative minds to join our dynamic team and take our empire to the next level. Where do you fit in, you ask? It's simple. Visit CaribbeanHot7TV.com and click on the Employment Corner to explore the plethora of opportunities awaiting your unique talents. Whether you're tech savvy, a social media guru, a creative content mastermind, or a charismatic on-air personality, we've got a place for you to shine. So stop dreaming and start doing. Check out our Employment Corner and let's make those career aspirations a reality. Hot FM Communications is waiting for your magic touch. Don't miss out. Your future starts here.
Are you a strategic thinker with a passion for media? Hot FM Communications Limited is searching for a dynamic general manager. This pivotal role requires a strategic mind and understanding of the media landscape. Your key responsibilities will include, but not limited to, overseeing the day-to-day runnings of the company, revenue generation and growth, content oversight, and customer relations, to name a few. The ideal candidate must possess a strong analytical background, excellent communication skills, and experience in media will help. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, there are numerous ways to get started. You can apply at www.caribbeanhottv.com and click on the Employment Opportunities tab. You can also send your resume to caribbeanhotfm@gmail.com or call 452-6040. Let's shape the future of media together.
Broadcasting to the world.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. I want to especially welcome those of you in the diaspora. I know there are many of you who are tuned in either on the radio or on the live stream. And I want to, thank those of you locally as well who are watching on television, who are listening on radio or watching on social media. And we have now come to the juncture where we are going to begin to receive calls. As I said, please be respectful and keep your calls as short as possible so that we can get as many callers as possible. Let me just remind you that our in-studio number is 458-1053, and our WhatsApp number is 718-554-1005, where you can send in your messages, and if we get a chance, we will read your messages, and if you have a question, we can answer you on air. And again, in-studio number is 458-1053. Well, while we await our first caller, gentlemen, we do have a caller already. Good evening and welcome to Like It Is. Caller, could you please go ahead with your question or comment?
Good evening, Honorable Lenard Spider Montoute. Good evening to Mr. Rosh Clarke, the future parliamentary.
Caller, let me interrupt you to say congratulations. You are the very first caller to Like It Is. You have made history.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I want to say good evening to the next parliamentary rep for Castries Central and the next parliamentary rep for Castries East. I want to say, just a quick comment, I want to congratulate the United Workers' Party. As a young person, it gives me great joy to see that the United Workers' Party is evolving. New, fresh faces. Gone were the days when the Labour Party would accuse the United Workers' Party of not bringing fresh faces. You've seen an abundance of talent within the fold of the United Workers' Party. People like Mr. Rosh Clarke, people like Mr. Peter Chiquot, people like Mr. Joshua Harrer and others, people like Ms. Marcella Johnson. And this is very healthy for our democracy and our politics. I think Mr. Rosh Clarke in particular, I'm from Castries Central, and I can tell you that the constituency have been neglected. There's no representation. You have a parliamentary rep in Richard Frederick who one can see is a bully. He's playing this transactional politics, which is not. It doesn't lend itself to what we call quality representation. And I believe Mr. Rosh Clarke is a breath of fresh air in the constituency of Castries Central. And I was very impressed with both him and Mr. Peter Chiquot last night. There's hope for St. Lucia when you have those two individuals who put themselves up for active politics, and not just the way they carry out themselves, the way they portray themselves. They seem to be discussing the issues, and we have to in the politics right now. There is room for peacock, but we have to stick to the issues, what it affects people. We have serious issues in St. Lucia, such as poor health care. People having to go to the hospital, they cannot get medication, there's no beds. That the list unemployment is a serious issue. The crime situation, particularly among young people. You know, the violence that we see, the education system is failing young people. You know, only this term, school has to reopen very late because we had a Ministry of Education who was studying or late to repair the schools. All these are issues. The cost of living, inflation is creating a havoc in the backs of in the pursuit of many solutions. When they go to the supermarket, they basically have to pick and choose which items they can purchase. And so I like what I'm hearing, and I just want to say to the United Workers' Party, keep doing what you're doing. The United Workers' Party, in my view, is on the right track. I want to wish Mr. Peter Chiquot all the best, and Mr. Rosh Clarke all the best. And trust me, as a young person, I will be mounting you guys' platforms and to ensure that you guys bring home the bacon, and that is to become the future parliamentary representatives of those two constituencies. Have a blessed night and good program as usual.
Thank you very much, caller. Our very first caller to Like It Is. And right now, we already have another caller online. Hello, good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Could you please go ahead with your contribution?
Yes, I want to say good night to everybody and a pleasant good night to the rep. And I hope
I have two individuals here. You said the rep. Which one? You have a preference?
Yes, Mr. Rosh and the other gentleman.
Mr. Chiquot, Peter Chiquot, yes.
Yes. I just pray God they don't follow nobody else but God's footsteps and keep their head high and do the work spirit and in truth, and don't let nothing keep them back, so that when they sit down, the people will see they vote for good people and never look back. Forward ever, backward never.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Caller calling.
Have a good night.
Yes, thank you. Calling in to give some blessings to my guests. Thank you very much. Do we have another caller online? Okay, that was our second caller. Again, let me remind you, for those of you who wish to call in, the in-studio number is 458-1053, and you can call in like it is. This is the latest talk show in town where you can call to tell it like it is. I have two guests here. You may wish to direct your questions to any one of them or to me as host. You're welcome. All that I ask is that you be respectful and that we keep our contributions as brief as possible. We have another caller online. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is.
Okay, congratulations to Rosh Clarke. But I find the show have too much breaks here. So 4 breaks, 5 breaks in that hour. I don't know what.
Caller, I appreciate you telling it like it is. We will do something about that next show.
Yeah, but congratulations to the young man. Congratulations to the young man, Rosh Clarke. Let's just see how it will unfold in Castries Central. Off I go.
Okay, thank you, caller, and thank you for telling me like it is. I take note of your comment, and in the next show we'll have to look at the breaks that we take, and if it is too many, we'll have to cut down on the breaks. And so we have another caller, so they're coming fast and furious, so we're taking them as they come. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is.
Good night to both you and your guests.
Good evening.
I want to congratulate your guest. Emphasis on Mr. Rosh Clarke. I am very impressed with this young man, and I want to say to him, don't be afraid of whatever challenge that might come to him, because remember, the person he's going to be going up against is not a very nice, not very clean guy. I say that boldly because I think the whole of St. Lucia knows that.
Tell it like it is, caller.
So, Mr. Rush, I want to let you know that I am also a prayer person. I will be praying for you. I am trusting that you will be the example of youth that we need in this country, because I think you will be able to influence a lot of our youth. We need people like you, and our prayers are with you. I think there are a whole lot of people that are at your back. Okay? I also want to compliment Mr. Chiquot for taking the position he's taking, and remember, both of you are going against two of the what I would call the hardest, the two of the top-ranking opposition leaders in the party, in the SLP party there. So you all have to really put your act together and do a good job. We are looking up to you all.
Definitely.
Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we noticed that you all are getting a lot of blessings, guys. The callers are calling in to give you all praise and blessings. So do we have another caller online? Our number is 458-1053. You can call and tell it like it is. The program is Like It Is, the latest talk show in town. And the calls were coming in fast and furious. We just had one that dropped a while ago. But gentlemen, so far you are getting some positive calls. Let me get this caller. Good evening, caller. You're on a Like It Is. Please make your contribution.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I would just like to pick up the two new politicians and also say pick up to Spider.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, my respect.
Yeah, well, I was feeling a little jealous already, congratulating the new politicians, but the new talk show host wasn't even congratulated. So thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. So, gentlemen, so far you're getting some very good reviews, and if this is anything to go by, you look like you're starting off on a good footing as a promising political career. Some people get only abuse. Of course, there will be abuse because you have opponents, but we have another call online. Let's take this call. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is. Make your contribution, please.
Good night, good night, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
First and foremost, I must thank you, Spider, for bringing up this program.
Thank you.
And the two gentlemen, congratulations on your new job, which is set for you guys.
Thank you.
I know one of them I know one personally, Mr. Chiquot. You have my support. Mr. Rosh, don't think you don't have it. You have it too.
Appreciate
But
that.
I need to extend that. And we're not going to go into the gutter politics.
Absolutely.
Not
We're
at all.
going to allow the electorate to search their hearts and to make a conscientious decision in this election that will be coming up. To place their hands on their hearts and their chests and ask the question, was the country better 5 years ago? And without a doubt, we will be elected one more time, marching into Parliament with this new slate of candidates, new blood. My friends, my brothers, I wish all of you good luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. So far, very positive calls. Like It Is, and we have two in-studio guests. The endorsed candidate for Castries East, Mr. Peter Chiquot for the United Workers' Party, and the endorsed candidate for Castries Central, Mr. Rosh Clarke for Castries Central for the United Workers' Party, the two newest politicians on the block, and they are both in the Castries Basin. We have them as our guests on our inaugural episode of Like It Is, and we now have the lines open to you. Call 458-1053, where you can make your contribution, you can ask questions, you can make your comments. We welcome for you, our listeners and viewers, to call in and tell it like it is. Gentlemen, while we await the calls, I noticed that you're getting some blessings, which is very important, and I listened to the two of you. I noticed both of you are God-fearing men, and you're also getting the encouragement as well as advice. And one of the advice that has come through so far is do not engage in the gutter politics. I think St. Lucians are getting to the point where they're getting tired of it and are looking for something more uplifting, something fresh, which we'll bring. We have a caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is. I think we lost that caller, unfortunately. But I was saying that I think the electorate is looking for something more uplifting and something more positive. And both of you are well placed. And I see already, I sense from your trend that you will please the electorate with the kind of politics that they are looking for. We have a caller online. Good evening, caller, and welcome to Like It Is. Please make your contribution.
Yes, sir. Good night. Good night.
Yes, good night.
And good night to your two guests, Mr. Chiquot and Mr. Clarke. I want them to know that you have a lot of support in the ground.
Caller, if you can just speak a little louder, my guests are not hearing you clearly.
I wanted to congratulate the two guests, Mr. Chiquot and Mr. Clarke.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I want them to just keep their eye because they know that they have formidable persons going again. And they will come at them with all what they have, all the might. But the harder they come, the harder they are going to fall. All right? So just keep your head up, gentlemen. Keep focused. The mission is to win. We don't want second place.
That's
We're
right.
going for the win. So all the best. And good luck to you and Spider. You're doing a good job, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good night.
And while we monitor the lines, we're getting some messages on WhatsApp, and that's for you, Mr. Peter Chiquot. Yeah, just want to give Peter Chiquot the thumbs up, a former CYO clubmate in the 90s from Marcus Garvey Bousquet in New York.
Yes.
So, yeah, from New York. That's somebody in the diaspora calling in to big you up, Chiquot. So you're just starting your career and you're international already. Yes, that's very interesting. And callers, we invite you to send your WhatsApp messages. Those of you who cannot call in, here's another message again for you, Chiquot. First of all, let me say, there's someone saying, I wish to the two reps congratulations. And the next message says, Chiquot have a lot of work to do to beat Philip. He and I work together on the pot. I know he will win. I want PJP out of politics. The man is a disgrace when speaking. So, Chiquot, your work is cut out for you, and you have been given your orders.
Yes.
That is what you have to do.
I will follow the orders.
Another caller, I want PJP out of politics. Oh, okay, now we have read that already. Next one is, yes, just want to give, oh God, we lost that message. In the meantime, the callers, you can call in and, make your contribution on Like It Is. Okay, yes. I was saying that you can make your contribution on Like It Is because this is the program where you are encouraged to tell it like it is. I, as your host, will be telling you like it is, and I have two gentlemen here who I am encouraging to tell you like it is. It is something that we have not grown accustomed to hearing politicians tell it like it is, but on this show, you have to tell it like it is. We have about 10 more minutes before we come to the end of the program. Those of you who wish to engage my guests, you have questions, comments, or what have you, advice, please feel free to call in. I have a caller online. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is. Please make your contribution.
Good evening, Spider.
Good evening.
And good evening to your two guests,
Good evening.
Mr. Chiquot and Mr. Rosh.
Good evening.
Rosh Clarke, yes.
Rosh Clarke. Yes, that's Clarke. I just want to say congratulations on being selected and welcome to the United Workers' Party. And you all look like two gentlemen that could really stand up to the task and get it done.
Thank you.
My suggestion is that, you be genuine, you remain genuine, and you speak from your heart, I mean, the state of the country really does not make that a very difficult task. You could just speak off the cuff, and you will have so much to say, so much to talk about, so much to criticize, and so much to promise to put right. It's like, it's like everybody fed up already. And in all honesty, I see it's an easy, sorry to say it so, but I see it's an easy job, to just get this place in order.
Because we all want to change. We want to change.
Such a mess, getting it in order should not be that difficult. Getting in there to get it in order, because everybody is fed up, trust me.
Well, I noticed that, thank you, caller, for your contribution.
One more thing.
Please go ahead.
Chico, you started on a mission there and you were derailed. I'm just hoping that you can promise us when you get in, you can get back on track and take care of that mission that you started.
Yes,
I'm
promise,
holding you to that one.
I will continue my mission.
Well, gentlemen, I brought you on Like It Is so that I can tell you like it is, and my callers can tell you like it is. Well, I thought you were endorsed last night, but you're getting more endorsements here tonight. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. We have another caller online. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is. Please go ahead and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm calling to congratulate the two young men. We do need fresh blood into this arena.
Thank you.
I welcome them, and I can't wait for you for South. See you all there.
Thank you.
Okay, well, caller.
Thank you.
Caller, I don't know if that was apologetic when you said you need fresh blood. Well, some of us have already gotten out of the way, and we leave it up to those two gentlemen to get the others who need to get out of the way. So thanks for your contribution. Again, for the endorsement for the two of you gentlemen. I think you all have started off on a very good footing as politicians, and I'm hoping you'll have a very productive, fruitful career. And as one of the callers advised, I hope you all do not change along the way. You all remain as genuine as you sound right now as you launch your career. So, again, gentlemen, I mean, it is, I'm sure, very heartening to you to know that in your quest to provide service to your people, that you are getting people out there who are encouraged by your entrance into the politics. I think St. Lucians have been waiting for a while for something different, something new, something fresh, something uplifting. And I think that is what you all provide. And I commend the United Workers' Party for, having the courage to give opportunities to newcomers, having an open door to newcomers, and especially you, Rosh, as a youngster, to place that confidence in you. And I notice you have not disappointed so far. Here is a message that I want to read on our WhatsApp platform. I want to say thanks to you, Spider. You're welcome for such a program. Good night also, and congrats to the two candidates. I know that's where I was going. I just want them to know that the path they have taken is a rough and tough one, I imagine that should be. But with determination, dedication, and diligence, they will prevail. Gentlemen, another endorsement for the two of you from one of our listeners in the well, this is a local message. Okay, so you are getting quite a lot of positive messages. I want to once again say to you, those of you who want to send in your WhatsApp messages, your WhatsApp number is 718-554-1005. And our in-studio number for those who wish to call is 458-1053. And yes, I see someone typing here, but we'll wait till that message is completed. We do not have any callers at this time, but feel free to call. The number in studio number is 458-1053. And I was saying of the I will not read that message. That's too cruel. Right. We have some messages, but our phone is lighting up, so let's take one of our callers. Good evening, welcome to Tell It Like It Is. Sorry, to Like It Is, where you tell it like it is. And please go ahead with your contribution.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. I want to congratulate the two gentlemen.
Thank you.
And I want to tell them, before they do anything, they have to put God first.
God first.
Because they are coming up against a legion of demons. Okay, so they have to put God first, so God can guide them.
That's right.
To travel through these demons we have in politics, in the SLP government. So, as I said, I'm congratulating you all again, and put God first in everything you all do, so He can guide you all in the right path.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Thank you.
We have another caller. Good evening and welcome to Like It Is. Could you please go ahead with your contribution, caller?
Spider, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Moi, gadi bonsoir pour Chiquot.
Bonsoir.
Et puis, l'autre fois,
Rosh.
Chiquot, moi, ça dit comme ça, au frère Chiquot, qui nous connaissons dans l'autre bien, nous travaillons ensemble.
Oui, nous connaissons dans l'autre bien.
Et puis, moi, gadi comme ça, date qui, moi, ça, c'est pas rien qui est aisé, mais merci Dieu, date que vous mettez la main en ring ça, Et moi, ça pour confiance. Qui l'ont mis confiance sur Dieu. Et que nous comme ça, tout chimon. Avec les dieux, et qui a été avec chimon. So, n'a donc comme ça, la prière, moi, c'est pour. Et pour ça, pour qu'il fasse un bon travail. Et bon Dieu, faut faire us. Moi, pas connaître. Moi, sorti mon dedans. Mais je connais Dieu à tout. Mais moi, je change. Grand-maman, Swadwin. Pour connaître ma Swadwin. Qui était ma pipi en racine. Flambeau. So, moi, ça va qui. Je suis au point, il faut m'abailler. So, moi, quand encourage, c'est la qui bat là, ou en toi, il pas bat qui aisé. Mais si vous continuez à vous tirer les pieds, maman, vous allez overcome avec bon Dieu et pour.
Merci
un peu. Merci un peu pour l'appel, ça là.
Continuez de mon travail, Spider.
Oui, merci. Alors, monde qui a prié pour la bénédiction encore. Nous n'avons plus mon souligne. Je prends l'autre monde. Welcome to Like It Is. Caller, please go ahead with your contribution.
Good evening, Honorable. I'd like to congratulations to our brother Chiquot and Mr. Charles.
Mr. Clarke.
Mr. Clarke.
Mr. Clarke, right.
Yes.
Mr. Clarke. Fabian Battez, you know you have our full support.
Yes.
All the best, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
caller.
right.
We have another caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Like It Is. Please go ahead and make your contribution.
Good evening to all.
Good evening.
I have two questions to the two gentlemen there, Mr. Chiquot and Mr. Clarke. If elected, what area would you like to serve the country in?
First of all, Mr. Chiquot, you will answer the first, and then Rosh will answer. If you're elected, what area you'd like to serve in government?
There are two areas that I'd prefer to serve in. Probably housing and sports. That's the two areas. But these things, I guess, if depends on where the political leader wants me to serve. Because I've been a career public servant all my life, and I understand the public service. I understand how it works, and so if I could help in any other area, I'd be happy to.
Okay, Rosh, if elected, in which area do you think you would want to serve?
I would actually like to serve in the area of housing and local government. Again, the dire interest into what it is that I actually know that I can contribute in that field is one that I wholeheartedly take it very seriously. Again, it still is on the decision of the political leader. He would, along with the group of individuals, select accordingly. And, that's one of the areas that I see of interest.
Okay. So, caller, you got your answer.
My last question is to you.
Well, please go ahead quickly because we are running out of time.
Yeah, I noticed you make mention you are making way for new blood. Have you thrown in the towel, or you are still thinking of representing your constituency in the next?
Oh, the towel has been in a long time, so I've made way for new blood. And, what I'm very pleased to say to you is the kind of people that I'm seeing coming to replace people like me have me very encouraged and make me very proud. And and even you might tell me that's not true, but I take the credit, whether or not it is so, I take the credit that maybe I created a good path. That's why we're getting such good candidates coming. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. We just want to read one last message before we end, as we're one or two on. First of all, we have a WhatsApp message here. Blessed love to you, gentlemen. Spider, thanks for taking the initiative to set up these new, to bring this to talk with these new candidates, Rosh and Mr. Peter. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you too. God will guide your path. Another endorsement, gentlemen, on our WhatsApp platform. Well, you're getting a lot of congratulations there. Congratulations to my rep, or you're ready to rep, Mr. Chiquot for Castries East, and to Rosh I see a bright future.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, I must say, we are building a family already on Like It Is, and we seem to have positive people. I can already say that this will be the most positive talk show in town. Congratulations to my rep, Chiquot.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Rosh. Yes, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And I think we have a caller, although we are running out of time, but I will take this last call. Caller, you are my last caller for tonight. Thanks for calling Like It Is. Please go ahead with your contribution. Try to make it brief, though.
Good evening to all of you all.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hold the right path you're going. I congratulate both of you all. God give you all.
Thank you.
But the program is a little too short.
Okay, I will have to talk to management about that.
Yes, I'm enjoying it very, very, very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller.
I call in from Miku.
Okay, and don't forget to tune in next Monday at 8 o'clock.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Okay, so we will have to wrap up now because we have run out of time.
Have a good night.
But before we close, gentlemen, I would like to invite you, if you have any closing remarks to make, Peter, with you. You first.
Yes. This is the reason I decided to get into this race. With this kind of feedback I am getting from the public, it's just, I have no choice. I have no choice but to answer to these people.
So you said you're getting positive feedback, which is one of the reasons why you enter, and you gave me the evidence tonight.
Yes.
Rosh, your parting words?
I knew coming in this would be a difficult and tough challenge. It's a mountain to climb. The intent of the change that's necessary, I am wholeheartedly reminding individuals that I am ready for this. This is one that I take absolutely serious, and we are going to bring back the seat to Castries. We're going to bring the seat of Castries Central back to the UWP party.
Okay. So now, gentlemen, let me just say, this must be the most positive episode of any talk show, political especially, that you've ever heard in the history of political talk shows in St. Lucia. Not one negative call, not one negative comment. And gentlemen, I think I made the perfect choice in bringing the two of you here, where I got all full endorsements and blessings for my two guests. That should encourage my future guests. Here is not a hostile environment. My listeners and viewers are people who are positive, and so I want to thank all of you who tuned in tonight for our first inaugural episode of Like It Is. I want to thank you, those of you who watched, those of you who listened, those of you who participated, whether by sending in your WhatsApp messages or those of you who called. I want to thank those of you in the diaspora. I want to thank those of you who are following us on social media. I want to thank all of you. I am encouraged by what I see so far. I'm encouraged by the feeling so far. And I want to say, have a very good night. But before I do, let me say, do not forget to tune in next Monday, for that is the Monday appointment for everyone as of now. It is Like It Is, the newest talk show in town, where you can tune in on Hot 7 FM and Kiss FM, as well as on our social media platforms, to listen to the issues of the day, issues that concerns and touches you, issues in politics, in current affairs, and what have you. And you are given an opportunity on this program for you to call in, for you to tell it like it is. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a very good evening, and thanks once again for tuning in. That was your inaugural episode of Like It Is.
We gotta
This was a paid political program.
The views expressed by the host of this program does not reflect the views of the management of Hot FM Communications Limited, nor its advertisers.
In St. Lucia, there is only one supreme sound, and this is it. Hot FM!
Are you a strategic thinker with a passion for media? Hot FM Communications Limited is searching for a dynamic general manager. This pivotal role requires a strategic... Hard-hitting, punchy, straight to the point, like it is. Starting on Monday, September 23rd, 2024. And every Monday from 8 p.m. Join in our simulcast on Hot 7 TV, Cable 117, Plug and Play, Channel 7, and Kiss FM 105.5 and 105.9, where we discuss politics and current affairs, the issues that matter and concern you, with your host, Spider Montoute. See you every Monday from 8 p.m. when we tell it like it is.